Four straight wins for Doncaster Rovers, and with games coming thick and fast, Darren Moore will be looking to carry that momentum as they take on Shrewsbury Town tonight. Two teams in good form go up against each other at the Keep Moat, and Rovers look for a result to top the tree this Christmas. In Sky Bet League 1, it's Doncaster Rovers against Shrewsbury Town. Good evening, welcome to the Keep Moat Stadium and our pre-match coverage ahead of Doncaster Rovers against Shrewsbury Town. I'm delighted to be joined as ever by Doncaster reporter for the Free Press, Liam Holden, and a familiar face to many of you, support liaison officer Dean Metcalfe. Welcome to you both. There's only one place to really start, and that's a win tonight, and we could be top of the tree at Christmas, Liam. Is that something to motivate us, or are we at risk of getting a little bit carried away?
Well, I don't think there's any danger of Darren Moore getting carried away, or the players as well. I mean, we spoke to two players over the last few days. Neither of them knew that was a fact, and that just shows you how much the philosophy that Darren Moore has as focusing on the next game has got into the players as well, and they've done that. It's nice for the fans. It'll be great, and I think it really will represent how far they've come in a short space of time as well. There were only a few weeks ago where it looked like I think they were going through a bit of a sticky patch, but they've carried on picking up results, and especially lately this run of wins, and it does show that progress that they've made.
Dean, your debut appearance on the show. I'm interested to get your thoughts on the season so far, and in particular this recent run of form.
Yeah, I think we've been playing fantastically. Like Liam said, we had a bit of a slump just a couple of weeks back, but since then we've really picked up, we've really pushed on. And, as a fan, it'd be great to finish top at Christmas. It really would. But, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. There's a long way to go yet. And I'm just looking forward to seeing the team play again, because every time I watch them, it just gets better and better.
Yeah, I'm reliably informed that this is the first time we've had 4 wins on the bounce in the last 4 years. So with the games coming thick and fast, it's a good time to be on a good run, isn't it?
Definitely. And it is so difficult. The players are tired. I think we saw that towards the end of the game on Saturday, that there were a few tired legs out there. But so to be able to keep that momentum going with everything, the quick turnaround between games, it is absolutely fantastic.
Looking at the table, like where recent opposition have been, has there been an expectation to get a result, or has that not really done the performances that Rovers have put in justice? I
don't think it has. I think when you look at the sides this season, I think there's no gimmies in this division. I think it's proven that. No one opposition has just come and merely rolled over. Rovers have had to be very good or bide the time, whatever it's been, to get these results. And it was the same on Saturday. They didn't look like a team that were bottom of the league. And you wouldn't imagine that they would finish bottom of the league. But again, Rovers have had to overcome that, and they've done a good job.
Well, speaking about one of them games, the win at Burton at the weekend, let's take a look at the best bits from that game. Those are the best bits from the win at the weekend. Dean, what do you make of that performance at the Pirelli?
I thought we started very well. I thought we started quite brightly. We got an early goal, which was good. But then I thought Burton came back into it towards the end of the first half. Like Liam said before, they didn't look like a team at the bottom of the table. And they got the goal. through that penalty. But from then on, Rovers they took control of the game. They grabbed it by the scruff of the neck and they just carried on. And I thought the second half, I thought we were brilliant. Burton barely got a look in, and it was all Rovers really.
You mentioned there the early goal, the first goal. It was a lovely team move described by Darren Moore, and nice and early in the game. What did you make of that free-flowing move?
Oh, I thought it was great to see Cameron John making those runs down from the left back. You know, it's something that Rovers have used very well recently. You know, with Reece James or Danny Amos or Cameron John in that left back position, they've got forward and it's been brilliant. And it was a great run and a great cross. And you know, Okenabiri, it was just a tapping, wasn't it? He couldn't really miss.
He's always in and around that box when the ball's coming.
Which is where you want your striker to be, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. We talk about the passing, the fluidity. What have you made of this fluid style of play that we seem to be applying?
It's fantastic when it's on, but there's a lot of hard work taken to get that, because opposition teams now are really trying to sort of close Rovers down and make that space really tight in the middle of the park, and it's up to Rovers to try and sort of work the way through that. I think we saw that at its best against Gillingham in terms of dragging a team out of the shape and finding those spaces. But as Dean touched on, the runs from the full-backs into that space, but when you've got quality of a ball played in like what Taylor Richards did to find Cameron John, and then Cameron John himself to pull that one back, it always helps out. Yeah,
I think it was described as a very professional performance at the weekend, and that goes into the hard work and the planning and the preparation that Darren Moore and his backroom staff puts in during the week to kind of work out the opposition.
Definitely. I think they knew that they've got to try and keep Burton quiet and stop them from finding their rhythm and finding their shape as well, which they did really well in the second half. And I think that's where you could quite tell that Burton were towards the bottom end of the table. Their confidence seemed to go, and their fight a little bit, and that only helped Rovers see out the game really comfortably.
Although the teams we played recently have been at the sort of bottom end of the table, we've adapted our style and played very differently in each one of them games, haven't we?
Definitely, and that's what Darren Moore says. One of his famous phrases: "Horses for courses." Mm-hmm. That's not just players; that's also the approach to the game as well. And you've seen that. And in terms of, you've got different teams are going to try and stop you from playing in different ways. We've seen that across a load of different teams this season, and Rovers are starting to show signs that they can overcome whatever is put in front of them.
Mm-hmm. One of the players that was obviously key in that game was Taylor Richards. Here he is talking in his pre-match press conference about that spectacular goal.
Have you ever run from your own half and scored before?
Yeah, I've done it quite a few times actually, like under 23s and younger age groups, but never in a first team game. So that was the first time I've done that. I was happy to get on the score sheet because that's what I feel like I need to add to my game, and obviously to help the team. If I score, then it helps the team. But at the end, we got the 3 points, and we're pushing up the table, and that's all that happen. All that matters at the moment. For me, making the right decisions when I get in and around the box, whether to pass it or to shoot. And I feel like with the games that I'm playing, I'm learning, and I'm getting better at my decision making and what I should do around the box. So I feel like that's where you get the best out of me in the attacking sense around their box. So yeah, I feel like I'm getting better at it, and I feel like there's more to come. I feel like we have a good mix in this team. There's some good young players and some good experienced players, and they all help. Everyone plays their part, with helping the young players and stuff like that. So it's a good group, and we're just trying to push on to the next level and just trying to be consistent. I wasn't really thinking about the league because there's so many games this Saturday, Tuesday. So I was just taking it one game at a time, and now around Christmas time, and we're around near the top. So it's good to see, but I feel like we can't let it get to our heads. We've got to keep going and just don't let it stop here.
Taylor Richards there talking about his goal at the weekend. Liam, he was very composed, played it down. The fact that it's not the first goal he scored, picking the ball up in his own half, but it was a hell of a goal, wasn't it? Superb,
and more than made up for that penalty that he gave away just before half time. A little bit of a reckless challenge on that one, but as I said, more than made up for it with that goal. He's got that quality, and you said that side of his game, he seems to relish so much, getting on the ball, getting forward, and taking shots.
He said he wants to get on the score sheet a little bit more. He needs to add that to his game, but his creativity in and around the edge of the box is probably the best within this side and within this league almost.
It is definitely up there. You can see that quality, that the big price tag that Brighton paid for him to take him from Manchester City, and we saw with the build up to the first goal, that quality pass that he played into Cameron John. he's just got that ability in the middle of the park. And what's great about this Rovers team is that there's a few in there that have got that ability on the ball.
Dean, you was impressed with Taylor Richards. Just tell him why you're such a fan of what he brings to the side.
Yeah, I think he's been brilliant since he came in. I think that little slump we talked about early in the season kind of coincided with him being injured as well. But he just shows the creativity, the goals he can get. Yeah, I think he's only on 2 now, but he could have a lot more. The chances he creates are brilliant, but also the chances that he gets on the end of. Like he said, he wants to get on the score sheet more, and I think he should do, and I think he will eventually. Is getting more and more into the team. He reminds me of Coppinger. With the creativity, the bit of a skill and the shots from distance. He's been a great part of this team, and we need him going into the end of the season.
Is the flexibility that we've got in midfield, is that a real strength to us? Because many teams have tried to shut us down by kind of crowding us out in that midfield, in particular recently with Ben Whiteman. You need that creative player to kind of create their moves and be that little spark of creativity when sometimes we're up against it a little bit in that middle
definitely.
Park.
Ben is always a creative player for us. He picks the ball up deep and he'll drive forward and find his man. But, a lot of teams now are going to mark him out of the games. They know how much of a danger man he is, and we've seen it quite a lot this season. And to have Taylor Richards in there as well, who can also do that. He comes like his goal on Saturday, came deep, got the ball in his own half and then pushed on. You need players who can do that, and he's going to do great for us. I really do. I think he's going to go a long way in the game.
13 different goal scorers. We touch upon this almost every week, but that must make us incredibly unpredictable to the opposition.
Really, yeah. You've got anybody to focus your attention on when you get sort of 25 to 30 yards from goal. It could be anybody in there, and so much. I think that just reflects the amount of movement in this side and how vital that is. You're getting players really high up the pitch. The full-backs are getting in on the goals as well. I think it's just the centre halves that are kind of letting the side down at the minute. But I know they're both Tom Anderson and Andy Butler as well as Joe Wright. They're looking to get on the goals a lot more.
Yeah, and Taylor Richards in that interview also said he didn't realise Rovers could go top with a win tonight, and that's very much the message that Darren Moore has been echoing as well, saying that the focus is well and truly on tonight's game.
What we just do is work from an isolated game situation. We don't really focus on what's ahead or anything else like that. Obviously, I can't stop in terms of you reporting on it, because obviously that's what you do and it's your job to do that. But what I will give you from a mindset is that focus on the next game, and it's just trying to be as well and as best as you can in that game, and that's exactly how we have been. And and I think over the course of the time since I've been here, I think hopefully those messages have been clear, really, in terms of it, in terms of how we work here and the squad and that. It's good that we're on the run of games that we are on, but it's important just to focus on the next one and not really get too up in the clouds in terms of what's gone on. What's gone on's gone, and it's on to the next one now. We know it's going to be another difficult game for us tomorrow night. They're a team banging form. They're a team currently in a real false position in the league. They're a team that's managed by a very experienced manager in the league. They've got some good players. And players that are really starting to show their quality and what they're about at the level where they're at. So you can go as far back. They've drew against Charlton and Accrington. These teams are in the so-called higher parts of the division. So it tells you where they're at as a team and as a club. There's a new manager gone in there, so they're currently on a real crest of a wave, and they've certainly got a bounce and a spring in their step. So we know it's going to be a tough game. And you've got 2 teams going head to head tomorrow night, 2 teams that's banging form at the moment, and we lock horns and we go at each other tomorrow night.
Darren Moore there talking about how he focuses on each individual games, and you said it at the opening of the show there, Liam, that is very much the message that he he's saying in almost every interview he does with the press, and the players seem to be picking up that message loud and clear.
Yeah, sometimes when you speak to players, they slightly contradict the manager, or they slightly let things slip that they have been paying a bit more attention to the league table. But as you said, you mentioned Taylor Richards. He didn't know for here Okenabiri at the weekend. He didn't realise that they could go top. So it just shows. And I think it's possibly helped this season by the fact that everything has been so relentless. There's been a game every 3 or 4 days, and I think it's helped just keep that focus on the next one.
Yeah, we talk about preparation time. The games are coming thick and fast. Recently, 2 a week. How hard do you think it must be for the players to sort of refocus and have such a large turnaround of games?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we played Saturday, you have Sunday off, you train Monday, and then you play Tuesday night. So, it's not as much of a turn, you ain't got much time to, really get your mind around the game set or, look at the opposition. I'm sure Darren Moore works his team sheets out based on the opposition, and I'm sure he does a lot of research around his opposition. But for a player, does it really give him that much chance? I don't think it does. But some players will relish it. You come off Saturday with a good win, you played well, and you just want to get going again, don't you? So, you turn up Tuesday night and you just want to push on. So I think some players will thrive on that. And I think others might, it might struggle on some. But so far, from what we've seen, all these players are enjoying it.
You talk about changes to the team there. He's mentioned that he is mixing it up a little bit, conscious of the fatigue. Have you seen any signs of that in the squad?
Yeah, like we said, I think a few people looked a bit leggy towards the end on Saturday. But, everybody who's come in so far has done well. John Taylor came in on Saturday ahead of Josh Sims, who's unfortunately injured, and I thought John played very well. We've seen the rotation on the left wing with Reece James, or Tyrese John Jules has played there, and a few other players have played in that position as well. But everyone seems to be enjoying it. They just want to get on the pitch and they just want to play. So yeah, there's going to be changes, and I think Darren's alluded to he's going to have to make more changes tonight with the amount of games coming. We play again Saturday, so there's going to be a lot of chopping and changing over the next couple of games, but it's needed.
You mentioned it there, the injury to Josh Sims. How much of a blow is that going to be, Liam? Out till late January, 6 weeks?
Yeah, it's a massive blow given how impactful he was from the moment he arrived, really. Explosive player, quick, and you saw the amount of opposition teams that were frightened to death when he got up to full speed. So it is a big blow, but timely that John Taylor's come back from injury and hopefully can fill in there.
Obviously a lot of flexibility in the squad. We've seen a real togetherness in this team that we've maybe not seen in quite a few years that comparable. Does that surprise you, with there being quite a few lone players in the squad?
I don't think it does. I think it has been building over. I think there's going back to the last time when they were a real team together, and I think there's been players in there to kind of really foster that. You obviously have people that have been there around for a long time, like James Coppinger, Andy Butler coming back as well, and I think that it's just part of the way of life at Doncaster Rovers now. But this is very good at the minute in terms of the togetherness. Speaking
of togetherness, in a week where we've seen some news that means we may not be able to spend Christmas with our families, LNER have teamed up with Club Doncaster to spread some Christmas cheer to some supporters who are vulnerable and are isolating during this period.
Supporting our communities along the LNER route is at the heart of everything we do.
Coming up to Christmas, a lot of people are by themselves and it's not nice, so for us to give them these hampers and even just a little interaction with them for 5 minutes.
So yeah, we're hopefully going to go and put a smile on their faces.
We're just leaving the stadium now.
Yep.
Do you know where you're going here?
I'm following me sat nav.
How are you, mate?
Hiya, you alright?
Nice.
The club sent us down, little hamper.
We've got a delivery for you.
Thank you very much.
We hope you enjoy them.
Thank you. You got the soldier on you know.
Yeah. This is the problem with being in lockdown. We've not seen anybody apart from the children, so when people come it gets a bit...
No, that's amazing, man.
Yes, thank you.
No worries, mate.
Granny's made today.
Yeah.
You know, we're blessed to have been able to do that and put a smile on his face.
I need the biggest step for me.
Hello.
You alright?
Yes, are you?
I'm good, thank you, yeah.
You've been nominated to get one of the hampers.
And Alan's got Alzheimer's, so we can only go out when you're alright, can't we, love?
It's just been horrible, really bad year this year.
That was a hard one.
Yeah, very hard, yeah.
You could tell she was very upset.
You know, you can get on top of people and...
But that's exactly why we're doing this.
People don't know what it's like when you can't get out to do it.
I want to say thank you to LNER for producing these hampers. They're just little gestures, but they can make a big difference on people not, having to shield and not being with the families.
We are looking forward to welcoming and reconnecting loved ones in the new year.
An emotive and heartwarming watch there, Dean. The festive activities from the club are a little bit more poignant this year.
Yeah, definitely. 80 care packages have gone out this week, which players have delivered. There's a lot of people out there who come into the football on a Saturday or Tuesday night is their only chance to, get out of the house or, come and see other people. A lot of people who I see and talk to on my usual match days, that's what they live for. The week is all aimed at the Saturday afternoons or the Tuesday nights. And I think what the club have done this week with these care packages and from the players as well to go out and deliver them, I think it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, obviously there was a hamper provided by LNER as well, but a lot of them just enjoyed the company and the chat with the players. The players seem to really enjoy the community responsibilities, don't they, Liam?
They really do, and I think that has been something that's been part of this club for a few years now. But players buy into it. They don't have to necessarily buy into these things, but they do. They enjoy doing it, and it means a lot to them. And I think you could see in that video how much it meant to some of them.
Let's turn our attention then to tonight's opposition. Shrewsbury, unbeaten in 7 games. It's fair to say they're in a false position in this league, aren't they, at the moment?
Definitely. We've seen a manager come in and make a massive difference in Steve Cottrell, and he's lifting them up the table. They look a much stronger prospect now. This is by no means going to be an easy one tonight. You expect them probably by the end of the season to be well away from that drop zone.
Steve Cottrell coming in, you mentioned it there. If he resorts to type, Dean, are we in for a frustrating evening?
Yes, definitely. We've seen it through his teams. We've played against some of them when he was at Portsmouth and other teams like that, and he likes that nitty-gritty sort of player in midfield who will stop you playing the game. And, I think that's exactly what they're going to do tonight. They're going to come here, they're going to try and stop us playing. I'm not saying they're going to sit behind the ball, but, they'll try and get the goal, they'll try and get the win. But they're going to make it a very tough evening for us, and it's going to be a tough one.
Liam, and they'll probably fancy the chances. They've beat top 4 opposition in the recent weeks, haven't they? Yeah,
as I've said, we've seen so many results that you probably would look at the table and be a little bit eye-catching in terms of teams down there beating teams up at the top. So there's not really any surprises in this division. They will definitely fancy their chances coming here.
So if I've got to pin you down for a prediction, what are you going for tonight, Liam?
I'm a little bit pessimistic about this one, but I really want them to be top of the league at Christmas, so I am going to go for my old favourite 2-1.
Dean?
I'm going to go 1-0 Rovers.
Full house from you both then. Thank you very much for your company tonight, gents. Thank you very much to you at home for watching as well. From all of the pre-match show team, have a happy and safe Christmas. Could Rovers be at the top of the tree for it? Head over to iFollow Rovers now to find out.